All right, so today we're talking about deductions. The stuff we talked about last time about income was pretty basic, and a lot of you would have known how it works. The stuff with deductions, a lot of you won't have heard about this, but it's really important for the rest of your life, okay? So there's three main government deductions, and when we talk about deductions, they are things you must pay, okay? There's a second meaning to it, and we'll get to that in a minute, though, okay? The first one is CPP, Canada Pension Plan. The second one is EI, employment insurance, and the third one is income tax. So income tax is the most basic. It's when you pay money to the government so that they can pay for things. So the government runs the army, schools, healthcare, all that stuff. So you need to pay it to the federal government for them to do federal stuff. You need to pay it to the provincial government, like BC, to pay for provincial stuff. So healthcare and schools, provincial, army, international stuff, federal aid, all that stuff, that's federal, okay? So income tax, there are other taxes, but that's like the main source of money for governments from average people. Employment insurance, the idea is if you lose your job and you don't have any money, a lot of people can't afford to live like that. They would die. They wouldn't be able to have their house or rent an apartment or pay for food or pay for their kids, all this stuff. So the idea is after World War II, the government said we should help each other out. So what happens is everyone pays a little bit of their money into a big bank account, okay? A giant EI bank account. And then if someone loses their job and it's not their fault. So for example, in 2008, when there was a financial crisis and a lot of people lost their job because of the economy, it's not like they were bad workers. Or right now with the stuff going on with COVID, a lot of people are losing their jobs and it's not their fault. So EI is that everyone pays in this big bank account, so just in case someone loses their job, then they can take out of it for a while until they get a new job, okay? That's what EI is. Not everyone's going to take it out. So for example, there's some people who live their entire life and they pay and they pay and they pay and they never have to take it out. It's kind of like our healthcare system. Everyone pays for healthcare, but not everyone needs healthcare, okay? Some people get sicker than others. It's just we all pay into it to help each other, to help whoever needs it. CPP, Canada Pension Plan. A pension is basically when you retire, you need money. So the idea is that when you retire, a lot of people don't save very well or have enough money saved away to retire on. So the idea is, again, we have a big bank account and everyone pays into it and it earns interest and gets bigger. And then when people retire, they can take some of it out, okay? The CPP doesn't pay very much money. It's hard to live on by itself. So you still do need to save for yourself or create your own pension plan, all that stuff, okay? So those are the things you pay for. That's what they are. Let's think of what deductions mean though. So obviously when you get, let's say you have a $100,000 salary, okay? Good for you, amazing. You don't get to keep $100,000. That's what people call gross, okay? It's like the big salary. You have to cut out the deductions. So the CPP is a piece and the EI is a piece. You lose those. So the deductions means that you don't have to pay tax on that. So instead of having the $100,000 for taxes, let's say it went down to like, I don't know, $96,000, okay? That's what deductions do, is they decrease your taxable income. Then what you have to do is you have to figure out your income tax, and it takes another huge chunk out of your income. Next video, we're going to talk about how to calculate those and what they are, okay? But so that's what deductions are. There's a couple more type of deductions. So if you're in a union, you have to pay fees. Some childcare expenses, there's a bunch of rules and special stuff about that. RPP, or for more people, RRSP, that's if you save for your own retirement, this can decrease how much tax you have to pay, and then some stuff about insurance and life policies, okay? So the idea with deductions, they take what you earn, and you have to pay for it, but you don't pay taxes on paying for these things. Just so you know, CPP, you pay 4.95%, but there's a cap. This is the cap for 2018. There's different caps for other stuff. And basically, you only pay it in between these amounts of money. So if you earn less than $35,000, you don't pay CPP, which makes sense because you're barely working anyway. EI is paid by everybody. It's 1.66% up to this much income, or in other words, this is the maximum amount you can pay. Most people don't really think about the max income. They just calculate this, and if the 1.66% is higher than the cap, you just don't pay it, okay? The income tax, we're going into much more detail next video, so we'll talk about that after. So that's it.